Hi, I'm Harlan Krumholz. I'm here at the Cardiovascular Quality of Care and Outcomes Research Conference in Baltimore, and I'm joined today by John Rumsfeld and Judy Luther, who are participating with me in a conference today that's talking about the future of journals and the place of our journal and other journals in research and in quality improvement. Judy, welcome. And first I wanted to ask you, your talk today looks so interesting. It's really about the future of journals, and it's such a dynamic time, both with regard to readership and business models and in the digitization and the open access. Can you give us a little sense, a little sneak preview? What are you going to talk about today?
Well, it certainly is an interesting time, and there are many different elements at play right now and quite a few trends and process that we'll be speaking to. I think some of the most interesting ones in my mind are the evolution taking place in terms of the breadth and scope of a scholar's work that actually can be covered. When journals went online, they were basically taken over into digital form as a PDF. And now the concept of a journal is branching out to include meeting abstracts, data sets, podcasts, videos, and a variety of other forms.
Well, that's really great. I think it's analogous to education, where the first movement was simply to digitize the class and to spread it out, as opposed to sort of rethink learning and the way in which the new technology can help us do that. That's going to be great to be hearing a lot about how in the publishing sphere we don't have to be constrained by thinking about what we had to do just with paper.
Exactly. We're actually freed now with all the energy moving towards tablets and the rate at which they're being sold. We're going to get accustomed to what we'll have access to in the consumer market. And I think that's going to strongly influence innovation in the scholarly market as well.
Well, that's terrific. Well, we have John Rumsfeld here, who is the past chair of the Quality Care and Outcomes Research Council and has been a great supporter of the kind of work we've been doing to try to push our journal, Circulation, Cardiovascular Care and Outcomes, forward, and is an associate editor also on that journal. And John, what do you see in terms of the future for the AHA and the council support for these kinds of activities?
Well, Harlan, I think that the most important thing to say about the journal, Cardiovascular Quality and Outcomes, is that it's the scientific journal for our field. And I think we can't emphasize enough that the science of quality of care and outcomes research is the backbone of actually changing healthcare delivery and improving patient outcomes. The QCOR Council is one of 16 AHA scientific councils, and it's one of the only ones that has a journal. So when we look to the future of the journal, I would ask the question of what we can do to adopt the evolution of where journals are going. So as we're trying to create a learning healthcare system, how do we have the science of that as part of it? Can we bring the science that's being presented in our journal to directly influence the learning healthcare system?
Yeah, I think it's interesting in thinking about what Judy's saying. How can we use the journal as a platform for building community, disseminating information, but also bidirectionally interacting with those people, both scholars and people who might be applying the information in a way that's different than what we've been doing before?
Yeah, I think right now we still are thinking of journals as somewhat passive. It's a passive place where we publish, maybe look back. That's probably always going to be an important role to reference and then learn forward. But how can we use it in a more active way? How can the data be available potentially from studies such that we interact with the journal to continue to generate knowledge? I think that's a major challenge, but where we should go.
Yeah, so this is great. Well, it's wonderful to be here with both of you. I'm looking forward to the session. And I think for our audience, what they need to know is that there's a strong commitment here among both the journal, Circulation, Cardiovascular Care and Outcomes, and among the council, the Quality Care and Outcomes Research Council, to be innovators. And Judy, we're looking forward to you helping us provide the pathway by which we may be able to innovate in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here.